Introduction regarding the relevance of educational psychology for teachers and learners. The educator is a philosopher who is required to guide the learner in the classroom. The educator should be aware of the learners in the classroom and have adequate knowledge about their developmental needs and growth. Education psychology assists educators to make use of a variety of techniques to assist their students. Educational psychology assists educators to analyze and evaluate learners' performance to check if the goals of teaching and learning has been met. It is also relevant to teachers as they are equipped with the knowledge of how to assist learners with learning difficulties. Through educational psychology, an educator is able to treat all learners as unique individuals and made aware of their differences. An educator is able to change her methods of teaching to accommodate the various learning styles which the learners in her class may have. Educational psychology is relevant for educators because it assists them in enhancing a learner's personality, which leads to the development of the learner. Educators are more informed about the development of learners and their potential and ways in which they can be assisted in order to increase their academic abilities. Educational psychology helps educators support learners and guide them in the teaching and learning process in order to enhance their abilities. Educators are informed about the learning processes and how learners can be supported and motivated. Case study background. The extent of a child's socioeconomic background can affect their cognitive development, which will have a negative impact on their teaching and learning process. When learners are unable to remember, learn, solve problems, and speak clearly, this indicates a lack of cognitive development. These aspects are important to monitor as they are predictors of how well a child will perform in school as well as later on in life. About Jane. Jane is a 9-year-old girl who lives with her parents and two other siblings. They live in a poor community where there is no running water, no electricity, and no clinics nearby. Jane's mother does not work, while her father works as a cleaner in the nearby school. On most days, Jane does not eat breakfast or supper. She relies on sandwiches given at school during break time. Jane does not speak much and has a limited reading ability. She gets irritated very easily and cannot sit still for more than 15 minutes. She disrupts the class when the teacher is teaching. Due to the clinic being 2 hours away from their home, Jane has not been to the doctor in 8 years. Her parents do not know why she cannot complete her homework and is failing her tests. Jane's background will affect her learning in school as she cannot concentrate due to the lack of food. She does not have enough energy to concentrate on the lesson and her mind therefore wanders. Jane cannot read a book on her own and requires much assistance from her peers and the teacher because she cannot afford to go to the library as it is far from home. Her vocabulary is limited and she cannot speak in complete sentences. Since Jane has not been to the doctor in 8 years, she has not been treated for her irritability and restlessness. Her eyesight is also poor as she cannot see the writing on the board and does not wear glasses. How to accommodate learners with ADHD with practical examples. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is characterized by various symptoms such as impulsive behavior, emotional reactions, and very short attention span, which can lead to disruptive behavior. The first thing an educator can do is to accommodate and manage learners with ADHD is to set limits. She should be consistent, fair, and firm in her discipline. The educator could begin by setting rules and consequences for their behavior. Their consequences should be reasonable and should be enforced with consistency. Manage their impulsivity by talking to them at the eye level and making eye contact. Explain to them in a calm manner why their actions were wrong and what the consequences are. Ask the learners questions to learn about how others feel. In order to manage attention problems, give students small pieces of a large task. Example, if the student has to answer 15 questions, set 3 questions at a time for them to answer. Educate a learner on motivating themselves using positive self-talk. Example, I can't concentrate. I need to calm down and focus on the task. And if I complete the entire task, I can play a board game. Make use of visual reminders to assist students to complete a task. Example, make a chart on how to write a complete sentence or a chart with morning duties such as reading silently for 10 minutes. Teach the learner how to set personal goals, which is important for self-development and will increase their sense of responsibility. This can be done by letting them write down their goals on a colorful paper and sticking it on their desk. If the child is being aggressive, teach them how to release energy effectively. Example, if they are angry, let them play with Play-Doh, telling them to squeeze and pull the Play-Doh as much as they need until they feel better. Encourage them to play sports to lift the focus from anger to something more useful, such as playing cricket. This will also assist the learner with social skills, which will in turn increase their vocabulary by talking to others and learning new words relating to the rules of the game.